Welcome to week 2 of my journey to 400 feet. Okay. If you didn't watch the first episode, go back on my channel and watch it. We got to about 340 feet was our consistent throwing distance, and my furthest throw was 392. And again, we're trying to bump up that consistent distance so that it's applicable to the course when I throw tee shots. We actually did get a lot of comments on the first YouTube video, which was awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna read some here that we're gonna focus on today. Basically, we're only gonna focus on like one or two things max on this field day, but we are gonna try and improve it. The main thing we're focusing on today is not leaning. Most of the comments that were giving me form tips were saying that I was leaning when I was reaching back, and that makes me have to lean back forward, which is not a good movement, very inconsistent, very slow. That was great. And I don't know why I haven't made this connection before, but I had a similar thing when I was in high school golf, when instead of rotating, I would dip, and then it would be a very inconsistent swing. So similar thing here. So I got to try and keep my head in the middle of my throwing stance and stay upright and just push that left shoulder back instead of leaning and trying to generate power. So that's our main focus today. And just to show you what I'm talking about here, I guess I'll put this in front of me. But so if this is the middle of my stance, this is my balanced stance. Last video, I was doing a lot of this, where my head is coming off of this line. I am now unbalanced, and it's a very slow and inconsistent movement to get back up. So today, hopefully, when I have my plant foot, we're gonna try and keep this head in the middle of my stance and just reach back and out from my body without breaking off of that middle plane here. I'll actually I'll put in the clip of Ezra that I watched, and that was given to me by J John Gaming 9932. Down on that YouTube video in the comments, he actually linked the video. Huge shout out to you, thank you very much. So for you guys, pick one form tip that you want to improve, maybe something that is drastically wrong with your form. In this case, for me, it's leaning. So that is the one tip I'm gonna work on. My cues for that are to try and keep my head in the middle of my stance the entire time and look at the disc and keep it close to my body until the last second. Those are my two cues for the one form tip I'm gonna focus on today. Anything more than that, I will not be able to focus on all that, and I will just get nothing done basically. So I'm trying to just focus on that for my field day in week 2. All right, we've got 15 distance drivers here. I'm gonna start throwing. Come out of it. Oh, came out of it. I think that was a full flight. Oh, Page Pierce Drive and CD3s have the same exact numbers. Did not know that. That was very low.
Alright, welcome to the form analysis section of the video. I have the scorch throw that was 350 feet, since that was around our average. We'll get into the numbers after this. But we have it in both angles here, and I'll just kind of let it run through in slow-mo here. This is the same shot on both sides. So our main goal was to keep the head in the middle of the stance instead of leaning, since that seemed to be my main problem last video. That was a major form change we're trying to change this time. So let's see. Trying to keep the disc close into the body until the last second. I start to extend it here, and I am leaning a little bit here. Let's keep it going. So I can keep the disc tucked in a little longer, but when my plant foot's down, I am technically leaning a little bit, but right here in the middle of my hips, if you go straight up, I'm technically on the right side of it, but I think a pretty good improvement. Before I would be down here a little bit, more off balance. Let's see how I follow through here. So the head does move horizontally a little bit as I come more on my plant foot, and then I'm just rotating, and there's the throw. So still obviously a little bit to work on as far as keeping the head in the middle of the throw, but definitely a big improvement, I think. I know last video had kind of crappy angles, but it felt a lot easier to throw these. It did feel awkward, and we'll get into that, just because it is a completely different throw for me, because I'm used to throwing how I throw and I'm changing it. Again, a little bit of the leaning maybe. I am trying to throw this on hyzer, and I was having trouble finding that angle. I was having mostly flat and anhyzer releases, which is why I couldn't really get my flippy guys to fly, because I kept throwing them into rollers. But not bad. If we look over here, again, maybe a slight hyzer angle I'm trying to throw on here. Can't really see the whole head in the middle of the stance thing from this angle, but we had some comments about possible rounding from last video. I'm not sure if this disc should be more out here, maybe. More out from my body. I'm not sure if my body is getting in the way here as we, yeah, maybe it looks like it is as we come through on this right side of the video, and then it whips around. Not sure. Maybe it, yeah, probably is behind my body a little bit. So maybe next video we can work on pushing that out here. And again, working on keeping this head in the middle of the stance and not leaning. Looks like a lot of improvement though. The power pocket doesn't look too bad to me. Some 90-degree angles. That is a little form analysis. It looks like I'm getting a lot better at keeping that throw balanced. This did feel a lot easier to throw these. I felt like I was working way less than I usually do, probably because I'm not leaning down and carrying my entire body over into the shot. It did feel weird. My timing was kind of weird. I didn't feel like fluid with it, but it felt like way less work to get the disc to fly. Okay, so for our averages, in week 1, our average was 347. And this week, our total average was 345. So basically, the same average from week 1 to week 2. This week, there was a headwind for a significant amount of the field day. It wasn't a huge headwind, but it was definitely consistent. So I'm still pretty happy with the 345 average. But, you know, even if there wasn't a headwind, a lot of times when you're changing form, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And it stayed the same. So not bad. And like I said, I felt like I was using less effort to put those discs out there. Not a huge change from week 1 to 2, but I am still super excited and happy with these results. The max throw is similar as well. It was 390. Week 1 it was 392, both with the Green Blizzard Boss, which I actually just lost after recording this video. So isn't that fun? Most of my flippy drivers that I was throwing were not able to be recorded distance-wise because I was throwing them to a headwind, 1, and 2, was having trouble throwing on hyzer with this new form. I was really trying not to lean, so I didn't want to get... I was basically trying to stay straight up, so I was releasing it flat, and I was just throwing rollers every time on accident, and you can't measure those for distance as far as what we're trying to do here. So with the lack of the further distances of the flippy guys and the little headwind, I am really happy with the 345 average, and I'm excited to see what we can do in week 3. So I'll kick you guys back to the little outro that we're about to have, and that's all for the numbers side of things.
So there you go. Again, comment below, let me know if I should keep working on that tip, if I need to, you know, form tips, disc selection tips, distance line tips, all that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments below. You guys were awesome the first week. I really appreciate it. Also, let me know how your second week of field days went. I'd love to be in it together. It's a lot more fun if there's other people also trying to gain distance and improve their form along the way. Huge shout out to saucydg.com. Go check them out for all your disc golf shopping needs. They got a great website, great people behind them over there, and they help support me, so you should support them. You can use my code ACFrisbee at checkout to save. And yeah, all my Instagram links, their Instagram links, their website, all that's in the description below. I do try and post every Sunday. If you're new to the channel, I post every week, and I post reels and things like that on my Instagram throughout the week. So go over there and follow that, and I really appreciate you guys supporting me, and have a good week.